Jason stood in the bathroom. The room was dark, but he did not turn on the light. He only looked at the small digital square on the floor. It was his enemy, but he needed it. He stepped on the scale. He held his breath. He closed his eyes, hoping for a miracle. Then he looked down. 142 pounds. Jason sighed. He needed to be 135 pounds by Friday. It was only Tuesday. 7 pounds in 3 days. For a normal teenage boy, losing 7 pounds in a few days is dangerous. For Jason, it was just another week in the wrestling season. Wrestling was Jason's life. He loved the sport. He loved the feeling of winning. But he hated the weight classes. If he weighed 136 pounds, he had to fight bigger, stronger boys. If he weighed 135 pounds, he was the king of his group. So he had to lose the weight. He always did. Jason put on his heavy winter coat. Under the coat, he wore 3 thick sweaters. Under the sweaters, he wore a plastic trash bag. The plastic made a loud noise when he moved, but he did not care. He went down to the basement. His father had put a small exercise bike there. Jason started to ride. After 5 minutes, he was hot. After 10 minutes, sweat ran down his face and into his eyes. It burned. He wanted to stop, but he looked at the clock. He had to ride for an hour. Push harder, he told himself. His mouth was very dry. He wanted a glass of cold water more than anything in the world. But water is heavy. 1 glass of water could add half a pound to the scale. Instead of drinking, he took an empty plastic bottle. He collected the saliva in his mouth and spit into the bottle. It was a disgusting habit. His mother hated it, but his coach said it was a good way to lose a little extra weight. Every little bit was important. After the hour was over, Jason felt weak. His legs were shaking. He took off the heavy clothes. The plastic trash bag was wet with his sweat. He felt dizzy, so he sat on the floor for a few minutes. His head hurt. It always hurt these days. It was the hunger and the lack of water. The next day at school, Jason could not focus on his classes. His stomach made loud noises. During lunch, he sat with his friends. They ate pizza and drank large sodas. Jason ate half of an apple and drank nothing. "Are you only eating that?" his friend Mark asked. Mark played baseball. He did not understand wrestling. "I have to make weight," Jason said. His voice was quiet and tired. "You look sick, man," Mark said. "You are too thin." Jason felt a quick flash of anger. "I am not too thin. I am strong. I am disciplined." He repeated the words his coach always used. After school, Jason went to wrestling practice. The wrestling room was very hot. The coach turned up the heat so the boys would sweat more. Jason practiced with his partner. He felt slow. His arms felt like heavy stones. But he pushed himself. He remembered his goal, the state championship. Coach Miller walked past him. He clapped his hands. "Good job, Jason. Look at you work. You have the best discipline on the team. That is why you are a winner." Jason smiled a little. The words made him feel good for a minute. Coach Miller was proud of him. When practice finished, Jason's father was waiting in the car to take him home. His father had also been a wrestler in high school. "How was practice, son?" his father asked. "Hard," Jason answered. He leaned his head against the window. "Good," his father said. He smiled and looked at Jason. "Hard work makes champions. I saw you running outside yesterday in your plastic suit. That takes real mental strength. Most boys your age are lazy, but not you. You are a machine." Jason closed his eyes. He did not feel like a machine. He felt like a broken toy, but he could not say that. His father and his coach thought he was strong. If he told them he was dizzy, or that his heart beat too fast sometimes, they might think he was weak. He could not lose their respect. Thursday arrived. It was the day before the big match. Jason weighed 136 pounds in the morning. He only had 1 pound left to lose, but the last pound was always the hardest. His body had no more water to give. He had no more fat to lose. He went to the sauna at the local gym before school. The air was thick and hot. It burned his lungs when he breathed. He sat in the corner for 30 minutes. When he stood up, the room spun around him. He had to hold the wall so he did not fall. Just one more day, he whispered to himself. Just one more day, and then I can eat. But tonight was a special night at home. It was his mother's birthday. His mother did not understand wrestling like his father did. She always worried about Jason. She thought he was too stressed. For her birthday, she was making her favorite meal, roast beef, mashed potatoes with butter, and a big chocolate cake. The smell filled the house when Jason walked in from the gym. It was wonderful. His mouth watered. His stomach hurt so much that he had to bend over for a second. Jason walked into the kitchen. "Happy birthday, Mum," he said quietly. His mother smiled, but when she saw his face, her smile disappeared. "Jason, you look terrible," she said, touching his cheek. "Your skin is cold." "I am fine," Jason lied, stepping away. "I am just tired from practice." His father walked in and patted his back. "He is working hard, Susan. Tomorrow is the big match. He needs to focus. Leave him alone." "He is my son," his mother said worriedly. "He is too thin. His eyes look dark." "It is just the weight cut," his father said. "He will be fine. Right, Jason?" Jason nodded. "Yes, Dad." "Go wash your hands," his mother said. "Dinner is ready." Jason went to the bathroom. He looked in the mirror. His mother was right. He looked sick and thin. He felt like a ghost. He washed his hands, but the water felt too cold. His whole body was cold. He walked to the dining room and sat down. There was roast beef, mashed potatoes, green beans, and a beautiful chocolate cake. Jason's stomach tightened. He wanted to eat everything. His body screamed for food. But he thought about the scale. He thought about the number 135. His mother gave him a big piece of meat and potatoes. "Eat, Jason," she said. "You need strength." Jason looked at the food. "Mom, I cannot eat this," he said. "I have to weigh 135 tomorrow." His father frowned. "Susan, he is cutting weight. Do not give him so much." His father took Jason's plate, cut a small piece of meat, and removed the potatoes. "Here, just for protein." "That is not enough," his mother said. "This sport is dangerous." "It teaches him discipline," his father said loudly. Jason sat quietly and put the small meat in his mouth. He chewed slowly. It was not enough. The food made his stomach wake up. He was even more hungry. His body panicked. "Are you okay, Jason?" his mother asked. Jason tried to speak. He started, but his voice stopped. Suddenly the room started to spin. The talking became very quiet. The bright light above the table hurt his eyes. The smell of the food made him feel sick. He tried to stand up. "I need my room," he said. But his legs did not work. His vision went black. The last thing he heard was his mother screaming his name. Jason opened his eyes. He was on the floor. The carpet was soft. He felt confused. He looked up and saw his mother crying. She held his hand. "Jason, can you hear me?" she cried. His father stood next to her. His face was pale. He held his phone. "I am calling the doctor," his father said, his voice shaking. "No," Jason whispered. He tried to sit up. His head hurt. "No, doctor, I am okay." "You are not okay," his mother yelled, frightened and angry. "You fainted. This wrestling has to stop." "I stood up too fast," Jason said. He forced himself to sit. The room was moving, but he tried to hide it. "I am just tired." "You are starving," his mother cried. "Look at what you are doing to your body." "For what? A number on a scale." "It is my goal. I have to do this," Jason said, feeling a hot anger. He looked at his father. He expected him to say, "Champions must suffer," but his father looked scared. "Maybe your mother is right, son," his father said quietly, putting the phone down. "Maybe you are pushing too hard. We can call Coach Miller." Jason felt cold panic. "No, Dad, you cannot. I am fine." He stood up slowly, holding the chair. "I just need to sleep. Do not call the coach." His parents looked at each other. His mother cried. His father looked ashamed. "Please," Jason said, "I worked too hard." "Go to bed, Jason," his mother said softly. Jason walked slowly up the stairs. His body felt like lead. He reached his room and closed the door. He took off his clothes and put on heavy winter pajamas. He still needed to lose that last pound. He lay under 3 heavy blankets. He was so thirsty. His mouth was dry. He closed his eyes, but his fast heartbeat scared him. He knew he was hurting his mother. He knew he was hurting himself. But he could not stop. The pressure was too heavy. The praise from his coach, the pride from his father, the respect from his friends. These things were a trap. He was a prisoner in his body. People talked about girls with eating problems. They talked about girls who wanted to be thin. But nobody talked about the boys. Nobody talked about the young men who starved in saunas, who spit into bottles, who pushed their bodies to the limit just to be called disciplined. They called it strength. But lying in the dark, shivering under his blankets, Jason knew the truth. It was not strength. It was fear. The night was long. He woke up many times, every time he felt weaker. He dreamed about drinking cold water, but the water turned to sand. When the morning light came, Jason slowly got out of bed. It was Friday, match day. He walked into the bathroom. The digital scale was waiting. It was small, but it controlled his whole life. He stood in front of it. His hands were shaking. His vision was blurry. He stepped on the scale. He looked down. 134.8 pounds. He had made the weight. He had won the battle against his body. The end. Jason went through a really difficult time trying to reach his goal, and it shows us how much pressure young athletes can feel. Reading stories like this is a fantastic way to improve your English because you learn how to describe deep feelings and difficult situations. Key vocabulary. Let us look at some of the most challenging words and phrases from the text to help you understand them better. Discipline. You have the best discipline on the team. To have discipline means to have the control to make yourself do things you should do, even if you do not want to do them. In sports, it means practicing every day. We can also use it in life, like having the discipline to study English every morning or the discipline to save money. Saliva. He collected the saliva in his mouth. Saliva is the natural watery liquid inside your mouth. In the story, Jason was spitting it out to lose water weight. We experience this every day, for example, when your mouth fills with saliva because you smell a delicious meal. Dizzy. He felt dizzy, so he sat on the floor. To feel dizzy means you feel like everything is turning around you, and you might fall down. In a medical context, it happens when you do not eat or drink enough. You can also feel dizzy if you spin around in circles very fast while playing a game. Fainted. You fainted. This wrestling has to stop. To faint means to suddenly fall asleep or lose consciousness for a short time, usually because you are sick, hungry, or scared. In the story, Jason fell to the floor because his body had no energy left. It is like when a computer suddenly shuts down because it has no power. Ashamed. His father looked ashamed. To feel ashamed means to feel very bad or embarrassed because you know you did something wrong. In the story, the father felt bad for pushing his son too hard. We can use it in daily life, like feeling ashamed after telling a lie to a good friend. Defeated. He had never felt so truly defeated in his life. To feel defeated means to feel like you have lost, or to lose hope because something is too difficult. Jason won the match, but his mind and body felt broken. You might feel defeated if you fail a difficult test after studying for a very long time. Key phrases. Make weight. I have to make weight, Jason said. To make weight is a specific sports phrase. It means to reach a required body size or weight to be allowed to compete in a specific group. Fighters and wrestlers use this phrase. But outside of sports, you might hear people talk about making a goal, which means successfully reaching a target you set for yourself. Push harder. Push harder, he told himself. To push harder means to use more effort or energy to do something difficult. Jason forced his body to keep exercising. You can also use this when you are studying, like when you push harder to finish reading a long book, even when you are very tired. Flash of anger. Jason felt a quick flash of anger. A flash of anger is a sudden, very fast feeling of being mad. It comes quickly, like a sudden flash of light from a camera. You might feel a flash of anger if someone suddenly drops your phone on the floor and breaks it. Weight cut. It is just the weight cut, his father said. A weight cut is the process of losing weight very fast before a sports competition, usually by losing water from the body. It is often very dangerous. In regular life, people might talk about a budget cut, which means a company or a person suddenly decides to spend much less money. Push to the limit. Nobody talked about the young men who pushed their bodies to the limit. To be pushed to the limit means to go as far as you possibly can until you have no more strength or patience left. Jason took his body to the absolute edge of what it could survive. You can also say your patience is pushed to the limit when a loud noise outside stops you from sleeping all night. Comprehension quiz. Now that we understand these words and phrases, let us see how well you understood the story. I am going to ask you 3 short questions. Here is the first question. Why did Jason wear heavy winter clothes and a plastic trash bag while riding the exercise bike? Here is the second question. What did Jason do at lunch while his friends ate a big meal? And here is the third question. How did Jason feel at the very end of the story after he checked his weight on Friday morning? Please pause the video right now. Take a moment to think about your answers and write them down in the comments section below. I will reveal the correct answers in just a moment. Are you ready for the answers? Let us check them together. For the first question, Jason wore those heavy hot clothes because he wanted to sweat as much as possible to lose water weight quickly for his wrestling match. For the second question, while his friends ate a big lunch, Jason only ate a small piece of an apple and drank absolutely nothing. And for the third question, even though Jason reached his goal weight and won his battle against the scale, he felt completely broken, sick, and truly defeated inside. Thank you so much for practicing your English with me today. Stories like Jason's remind us that true strength is about being healthy, not just reaching a goal. If you found this story and vocabulary lesson helpful, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. I cannot wait to share more stories and learn with you all next time. Take care and see you soon.